Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center, this is TV6 Quad Cities Today.
Today, colorful hot air balloons will take flight for the Quad Cities Balloon Festival. Danielle McCarthy is live at the Rock Island County Fairgrounds this morning.
Rock Island's Dinkman Elementary is working to make reading fun with a student literacy camp.
And all-star shortstop Derek Jeter played his final game at Yankee Stadium last night, ending his incredible career there in heroic fashion.
It was a great game. It did not disappoint.
No, I did not watch it. I'm gonna go ahead and admit that right now.
We'll see a little clip of it here coming up.
Okay, good. Good morning, everyone. I'm Morgan OTA. Thanks so much for waking up with us.
Good morning. I'm David Nelson. It's Friday. We're in a good mood because it's Friday.
Because it's Friday, because it's going to be gorgeous out today.
Weather's perfect, Greg, especially for the balloons that are going to be going up today.
It is, and I mentioned earlier I'm not a hot air ballooner. I don't know what good weather is for them, but I know good flying weather is when high pressure's in control and there's light wind, and that's what we have today. And apparently, we've learned it is good ballooning weather. So we need the NBC The More You Know thing to go by. But we'll take a look at what we have going on this morning. Temperatures running in the mid-50s at this point. 53 though out in Kewanee, and a bit warmer down in Burlington at 61 degrees. There's some clouds kind of smattered around our viewing area. They'll be just enough to make us have a beautiful sunrise and then be just absolutely no problem as we go hour by hour to our daytime high today. Let's check out that forecast. High temp in the upper 70s to lower 80s this afternoon. I have the Quad Cities clocking in momentarily at 81 degrees, but of course it will be mostly in the upper 70s through the afternoon hours, dropping only into the mid 50s tonight and then warming back to the lower 80s on Saturday. We do it again on Sunday and a couple more times in the extended forecast, but there is some rainfall on the way. If you missed the 7-day just a couple of seconds ago, I'll have that coming up.
And of course, we were just talking about this. The weather should be perfect for this year's Quad Cities Balloon Fest. It starts today at the Rock Island County Fairgrounds. That's where KWQC's Danielle McCarthy is this morning. Danielle, the weather actually plays a huge role in this weekend's event.
It does, Morgan, and we're going to get to that in just a moment here. But for right now, we're in the Remax balloon that's getting set up right now. Some organizers and crews with the QC Hot Air Balloon Festival are here right now, giving us a preview of what we can expect later today. So I'm here with Bill Baker. He is the hot air balloon pilot for this balloon right here. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning. So we were just talking about the weather, how much that plays a role in this event. You know, explain what kind of weather you're looking for this.
Well, we've been coming here for 7 years, and it's going to be a fantastic year this year. The prior years, we've had weather issues to deal with rain or wind or both or whatever. This year, it looks wonderful. And getting back to your point, it is not just a part of it. It's almost everything as far as balloon operations go is the weather, because it is our motor. I mean, the wind, if the wind's blowing, then that's where we're going. And if it's not blowing, then we're all going to stay here and have a party. Okay. So come on out.
All right, and we're showing some video right now from last year's event, which is pretty cool. Now, when you're up there flying around, 10,000 feet or whatever, what is that like?
Well, for one, normal operations, we're around 1,000 feet above ground.
okay,
Yeah, so we can still,
10.
yeah, that's 10,000. I mean, that balloon can go up to, the world record's a little over 72,000 feet, so twice as high as the jets fly, but that's specialty stuff. The normal operation is anywhere from 500 to 1,500 feet, 1,000-foot average. We like, wafting along at a whopping 5 or 6 miles per hour. It'd be perfect. And it's just wonderful. And it's so surreal, and I've been doing this for a lifetime now, and it's every flight. The best thing is you can't get bored, because every flight, because of Mother Nature, every flight is different, and it takes on its own character and whatnot. And of course, safety is paramount. It's always job one. So, we're always in here at the QC Balloon Festival, where it's always paramount, and we're always looking, safety is what we do, and but within that framework, we have a great time.
Okay, well, thank you, Bill. We got to wrap it up, but people can start coming out here to the Rock Island County Fairgrounds, where we are right now, at about 3:30 this afternoon, a little bit after that. Reporting live in East Moline, Danielle McCarthy, KWQC TV6 News.
Danielle, thank you. And along with today's balloon launch, there are 3 more launches scheduled. Those are at 7 tomorrow morning, 5 tomorrow afternoon, and 7 on Sunday morning.
New data show schools in Rock Island are not meeting Common Core standards for Illinois. So last night, there was a family literacy camp at Dinkman Elementary. Camp Read Some More is trying to make reading fun with strategy games, celebrity readers, and a book fair. Teachers say they want to track their students' success and hope events like this will help them do that.
We're getting kids excited about literacy and showing them that literacy isn't just in English class, it's in science, it's in social science, it's vital for their college and career success.
About 200 students and parents attended last night.
Also last night, Blackhawk College held a college night. It was a chance for students and parents to see dozens of four-year colleges from Alabama to Hawaii.
It does make it a lot easier. The travel is just difficult, but getting information from them, visit times and everything.
It's just a great opportunity for students to come, get the information. It's essentially a one-stop shop for them to get all of their college admissions needs.
Organizers passed out a sheet of questions to ask when picking a college, like what credits will transfer, what the student-to-faculty ratio is, and how many students get financial aid at the school.
The Rock Island County Board was supposed to vote on dismissing its chairman last night, but Phil Banaszak beat him to the punch. Banaszak retired Wednesday, around 24 hours before the vote. Board members say there have been multiple issues ranging from comp pay to recently wanting to charge the health department rent, and members say they felt Banaszak lacked leadership. Now that he's out of the position, some board members say it's best to get a county administrator instead of a board chairman.
It's going to take, I think, getting a county administrator in place to run the county and take some of that power away from the county board chairman. I think the county will run much better once we get an administrator in place.
In a statement, Banaszak says he's resigning from the board because he doesn't want to obstruct the county from moving forward.
Attorney General Eric Holder announced his resignation yesterday at the White House.
Work remains to be done, but our list of accomplishments is real. Over the last 6 years, our administration, your administration, has made historic gains in realizing the principles of the founding documents and fought to protect the most sacred of American rights, the right to vote.
Bobby Kennedy once said,
Holder has served as Attorney General for the entire duration of the Obama presidency. The president praised Holder's tenure at the ceremony, hailing him as the people's lawyer. Holder will stay in office until his successor is confirmed by the Senate.
Yankees fans said goodbye to Derek Jeter last night as the future Hall of Famer played his last game in the Bronx. It did not disappoint. Kurt Gregory has the story.
Number 2, Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter stepping to the plate in his final game at Yankee Stadium. Out of the playoffs and going up against the top team in the American League East, the Baltimore Orioles, Thursday night was all about Derek Jeter. And the Yankee shortstop did not disappoint.
runner goes. That one is drilled deep.
An RBI double off the wall in his first at-bat. A classic double play on defense in the third inning. Then in his final at-bat, a storybook ending, delivering the game-winning RBI in the bottom of the ninth. Jeter's accomplishments cannot be overstated. His name will be remembered alongside the greatest to ever wear the Yankee pinstripes, including Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, and the legendary Babe Ruth. Baseball is a game of numbers, and here are a few Jeter takes with him. A lifetime .309 batting average over 20 seasons, 5 World Series championships, 11 seasons as captain, and Jeter will step down as the Yankees' all-time hits leader. Now Jeter says goodbye to the game that he has meant so much to, and that has meant so much to him.
I've lived a dream. I mean, this is, since I was 4 or 5 years old.
As the Yankee faithful got their chance Thursday night to say goodbye as well. Kurt Gregory, NBC News.
Now, Jeter still has 3 more games to play for the Yankees against the Red Sox in Boston.
An amazing start to this morning. Temperatures running in the mid-50s. We're going to warm up very nicely this afternoon, making for an even better weekend. High temperatures actually going to stay in the upper 70s to lower 80s, but we do finally see some rainfall. It's just pretty far off. And it's not this weekend because Cal's in early this morning. We got a shot of Cal early this morning. Hi, Cal. How you doing, buddy? We're about to do weather coming up after the break.
You're watching David Nelson and Morgan Otier. This is KWQC TV6 Quad Cities Today. And now, the Quad Cities' most reliable forecast with meteorologist Greg Dutra.
just about everybody, as I've checked, most of these normal low temperatures across the nation are actually warmer than their normal low. Now, the exceptions start coming in New England, where there's some cooler than normal temperatures, even up through the northern extent of Michigan and also northern Wisconsin too. But for the most part, everybody's running pretty warm this morning. Check this out through the Dakotas and into Big Sky country, temperatures running in the lower to mid 60s. They're north of us, and they're even warmer than we are this morning, and even some late summer, early fall, of course, for all of us. Humidity here through the Dakotas. Temperature, dew point of 60 degrees out in Bismarck. That's where we start feeling a little bit muggy, and I guarantee folks from North Dakota, they're not quite used to that mugginess like we are. I guarantee they feel a bit humid as they step out the door early today, but we are doing great. East wind at 6 miles per hour. Climatologically or normally, a wind from the east or southeast in our viewing area means dry air. And we absolutely have that here. Dew point sitting at 52. That is well below that noticeable 60-degree mark. And something else here that I've been mentioning throughout the morning, the barometer, which is usually just kind of, the last thing on the currents that nobody really looks at, that is pretty high right now. Anytime you're over 30 inches of mercury, high pressure is definitely in the area. And that is what is controlling our weather today. Here's that high located over the Great Lakes. It's providing that easterly to southeasterly wind as well, continuing to allow dry air and lots of sunshine to build into our area. That sunshine going to help us out very quickly, because even though we do have just a few clouds on the satellite and radar this morning, they are only going to be something that kind of pretty up the morning just a bit. They'll make for a nice sunrise, and then after the sun gets above them, it's going to shine through them no problem at all. It's likely going to be another very blue afternoon for us, with temperatures that very quickly rise from the mid-50s, lower 60s this morning into the upper 70s and lower 80s this afternoon. Another great day for us, well above normal, and our temperatures only slide to about 70 or so by the time the football games start. And if you think, oh man, with clear skies, it's probably going to cool down quickly, not so much. Remember that southeasterly wind. That'll keep us on the warm side of things. Even by the time those games are over, at least most of them, temperatures still running in the mid-60s, which is well above where they normally would be. We also fall into the mid-50s at the very worst tonight. 56 will be that low temperature in the Quad Cities. There's that southeasterly wind about 5 miles per hour, and that keeps on keeping on into the weekend with sunshine on both Saturday and Sunday. Not this weekend, but next weekend. It'll be a little bit on the cooler side of things. As you head into the 4th, 5th, that kind of time frame, high temperatures likely to dip back into the 70s, maybe even some 60s, with a chance of rainfall on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. But until then, we continue with the dry and warmer than normal weather.
Happening overnight, the International Space Station has 3 new members this morning. A Soyuz spacecraft docked with the ISS overnight, bringing the U.S.-Russian crew on board. A NASA astronaut and 2 Russian cosmonauts blasted off from Kazakhstan 6 hours before that. They're going to spend 5.5 months in orbit before they return to Earth. The flight also brought cargo and supplies for the current crew on board. This marks the first space mission with a female Russian cosmonaut in 20 years.
U.S. medical teams are headed to Liberia, the country hardest hit by the deadly Ebola outbreak. Officials leading the U.S. relief effort said their teams were rushing there to help stop the spread of the virus. Frustrated residents who have been seeking medical treatment complained about the lack of resources at medical centers there. Ebola has already killed more than 2,900 people throughout West Africa.
Here's a live shot of our nation's capital this morning.
Bright and
very
sunny.
Pretty, yeah. Very pretty shot there. President's going to address another gathering on World Health today at the White House. All right, looking out on traffic this morning, no issues on a golden morning out there. It's going to be a great day.
The city of Davenport is taking action to keep coyotes away from the area. People have been complaining, so the city went to the DNR, and the DNR said yes to hunting coyotes. The idea is anyone with an urban deer hunting license could hunt coyotes in city limits. They're still formulating the regulations for coyote hunting, but something should be in effect within a few weeks. The DNR suggests bringing dog food inside after your pet is done eating and cleaning up bird feeder areas to help reduce the possibility of a coyote coming into your yard.
For some people, missing a car payment could mean their car will no longer start. Lenders are installing so-called starter interrupt devices on vehicles. It's done for borrowers who are considered subprime or whose credit scores are at or below 640. The device allows lenders to remotely disable the ignition when a borrower doesn't make a payment. The devices have been installed on about 2 million cars, enabling high-risk borrowers to get loans.
Ride-sharing company Lyft is teaming up with Major League Baseball to offer fans a safe ride to and from ballparks. Lyft will offer car-sharing services to 74 million fans during this year's postseason, which starts next week. The services will run through the entire 2015 season. During that time, there's going to be free ride giveaways and special promotions for the playoffs in October. Similar to ride-sharing service Uber, Lyft's mobile app hooks you up with the driver and sends you the driver's picture, name, and car. You can then track the driver's route and estimated time of arrival on that map.
Golf can be a hard game to master, as we all know.
Yeah, I've never even played a full game of golf.
Exactly.
Before, so.
Hard to master or even play without embarrassing yourself
Right.
sometimes. Not everybody's good at it.
But there's a new way to play golf, and you don't need fancy clubs, just your foot and a soccer ball.
You don't need any skill to play this game. All you need to be able to do is kick a soccer ball.
At Eastwind Valley Golf Course in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, that's all you do right there. You can play foot golf. Each hole is about 100 yards.
The foot golf holes are 21 inches in diameter to fit the soccer balls. You know, I still would be terrible at this, but I think that I would give this a shot.
I think it
because
looks
look
fun.
how big those holes are. I could probably get a soccer ball, maybe one.
I think it looks like a lot of fun, and it's probably great exercise.
Yeah, I've heard that there are efforts to get foot golf in the area here.
We have it at Red Hawk.
Red Hawk.
Red
Yeah,
Hawk,
we've
there's a
done
course
several
there.
stories on
Yeah.
that, and I wasn't sure if it was Red Hawk or Emi's or which one it was, but yeah, people play it there, so I might actually give it a shot. Real golf, though, no. That's never. Taking a look at our Facebook page this morning, Chrysler is recalling nearly 350,000 cars and SUVs because of an ignition switch problem. We want to know if you've been affected by any of these recent car recalls. There's been a ton of them. Let us know on Facebook.
Just a couple of minutes before 6:30, temperature in the mid-50s, and it's going to be in the lower 60s by the time you're finished up with your morning commute. Here's a look, by the way, at I-74 as you're headed over to Illinois. It looks wonderful, and you can tell there's just a little bit of cloud cover out there. That'll provide a pretty nice sunrise for us. Again, about 60 or so degrees will be the temperature by the time you're really getting going for your morning commute. Temperature's actually already around 60 for many of us, especially if you live off to the south of the Quad Cities. By later on this evening, temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s. We actually hit our daytime high a little late today. It'll be around about, I'd say 5:30, 6 o'clock, hitting 81 degrees. No issues, obviously, with a beautiful high temperature like that and dry conditions. But we do have some rainfall in the extended forecast. I'll show you when, coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. We have a guest in studio today. This is very exciting for us. We've got Lorraine Pescia from Genesis, and you've come in at the last minute to give us flu shots.
Can you tell which one of us is going to get the flu shot here this morning?
So talk a little bit about why it's so important for people to start thinking about getting their flu shots.
Because influenza kills many, many thousands of people in the United States every year. Okay. And by getting the flu shot, you protect yourself, you protect 5 other people around you from getting the flu. Even if you don't have symptoms of influenza, you can still be a carrier.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize that. So I don't get sick doesn't mean that you are
won't get
not,
somebody else sick.
that you will not get.
And people who may be thinking, I don't want to get the shot, it's dangerous, I'm going to get sick if I get the shot, you say to them?
No, you do not get sick from the vaccine. Chances are, if you do feel that you're having respiratory symptoms after you get the shot, or GI symptoms, or whatever the case may be, you were already harboring.
Okay. You were going to get sick anyway.
You were just in that area anyway. You were just harboring a virus. You didn't know it, and now it presents.
Okay.
But minor little aches and pains, joint aches and pains and whatnot, if you may have those. Also, that's a sign of antibodies building in the system.
Okay.
So the body is building its immune system, which is what you want to see.
Yeah.
You really do want to see that.
Okay, talk a little bit about flu-free Quad Cities.
Well, it's pretty cool because flu-free Quad Cities started back in 2007. This is our 8th year for it.
Okay.
Started with like 800 students got it. This year we have 10,000 students that are anticipated to get the vaccine.
Oh, awesome.
So we're take 10,000 times 5, and how many people in the community have been protected.
We can go ahead and start my shot, get my shot going here. And this is interesting. Originally, we intended, Morgan, you and I both, to get a shot. And
this would have been my 3rd flu shot ever in my life. David encouraged me 2 years ago to get one live on air. and I did, and it was nothing, and I never got the flu or anything like that, like people think, all of those myths. But I just had a tetanus shot on Friday, so I can't get my flu shot for like 2 weeks.
And I wouldn't have thought about that, but it says on the consent form that you always have to fill out before if you've had a live virus.
You need to delay getting the flu shot for another 4 weeks.
So it's a reminder to always read the fine print
read
that's
the fine
on
print,
there.
yes. So you
I'm glad that
read
I
that
did
fine
that.
print, yes. So because you want to make sure you get the full antibody response.
We've got 15 seconds. I don't want you to rush this too much. So I'm sure the producer will give us a little more time. We don't want to get hasty here with this. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
the producer says, I want you to be
just
okay.
some facts here while she's doing that. The flu mist versus the flu shot. Now the flu shot, again, we want everybody to know the myth there is that you can get the flu from the flu shot. That is dead viruses. We want everybody to know that. And the flu mist, though, that's the spray, correct?
That is the spray, yes.
Okay.
And that is really that is a live virus.
And that's very different if you decide to do that.
Well,
did it hurt?
Didn't even feel it.
There you go.
You have to be
Did not even
you
feel
have to be 49 and under for that, though.
Okay.
But that's very popular with the children, with a lot of people.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lorraine, so much
Thank
for
you.
coming in today
Thank
and
you.
doing this for us. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
We like everybody to get the flu shot, meteorologists, and
Yes.
anchors included.
Yes, we happen to have a meteorologist here, so
We'll see
maybe
what
we can
we
talk
can
him
do.
into it.
We'll see what we can
Lorraine,
do.
thank you very much.
Thank you for
Appreciate
inviting
it.
me. Thank you.
Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center, this is TV6 Quad Cities Today.
This morning, New York officials are addressing the terror scare started by Iraq's new prime minister, who claims ISIS was planning to attack subways.
We have new details on the renovation of 2 historic Davenport buildings this morning. Construction on the project is expected to start in coming weeks.
And the Quad Cities Balloon Festival takes flight today. We're going to take you there live, and as we've been talking about all morning, you could not ask for better weather for this. It's going to be fantastic for the balloons.
This is going to be great. I'm so excited to see that. Danielle's got a really cool live shot this morning.
She sure does.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Morgan OTA. Thanks so much for waking up with us on this Friday.
Yes, good morning. I'm David Nelson. Greg, we're going to head on over to you, and you've got nothing but good news for today.
Yeah, fantastic news here for today. We have clear skies to kick it off. We have temperatures that are running above normal. Our high temp is going to be above 80 degrees this afternoon, and while it doesn't feel like fall, I don't think I've heard too many complaints about the warmer than normal weather, especially after the kind of cool summer we had. We'll take a look here at the satellite and radar, and there are a few clouds out there this morning, but these clouds only providing another one of those great sunrises for us, and most of us are actually clear at this point. Temperatures in the mid-70s by noontime will hit lower 80s as daytime high temps, and then we only fall back into about the mid-60s at the coolest for football games later on. We'll have your high school football forecast and also your 7-day outlook coming up.
New York subways are open this morning, but riders are boarding with new claims of a terror threat. Tracy Potts has more on how officials are keeping riders safe.
There's more security in New York subways this morning after Iraq's prime minister surprised everyone and told reporters ISIS was planning to attack subways here and in Paris. New York's governor, mayor, and police commissioner quickly hopped on board and tried to reassure the public.
There is no specific, credible information about any specific threat to the New York City subway system. The New York City subway system is safe to ride.
The FBI agreed, but an Iraqi official says they warned the U.S. The U.S. is still going after ISIS with airstrikes. The Pentagon says the latest hit on oil refineries cut off an important source of financing.
They're not going to be pumping any refined oil out, petroleum, anytime soon.
Is shocking the world.
This morning, the British Parliament is back, considering whether to join the U.S.-led airstrikes. Some in Congress want to come back, too. They claim President Obama skipped an important step.
We're obviously engaged in war inside Syria, so it seems to me the appropriate thing for Congress to do is actually to vote on it.
Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Congress won't be back in Washington until mid-November after the election.
President Obama will speak at a global health summit today. After spending part of yesterday at a United Nations meeting on the recent Ebola outbreak, the president will address another gathering on world health. The event is being held in Washington, D.C. at the White House. At least 25 other countries will join the U.S. at the summit with the goal of improving the world's ability to prevent, detect, and respond to diseases. The third American aid worker to contract the Ebola virus is back home in Massachusetts this morning. Dr. Rick Sacra was released yesterday from the Nebraska Medical Center, where he was being treated since his arrival earlier this month. Before his departure, Sacra said that he felt great but extremely weak. The 51-year-old physician contracted Ebola while working with pregnant women at a hospital in Africa. David?
In Western Africa, Morgan, Ebola is still spreading, as we've been reporting. This is a map showing some of the latest numbers from the Centers for Disease Control. These 5 African nations have been hit hardest. Liberia hit the hardest of all. We see here the numbers: total Ebola cases, 3,280 and almost 1,700 fatalities. You've also got other countries, Sierra Leone, Guinea. Each of them has more than 1,000 cases, and each is reporting around 600 fatalities so far. Now, those numbers are only expected to grow. CDC says the worst case scenario is that there will be 1.4 million Ebola cases by January.
Thanks so much, David. 14 days after a University of Virginia student vanished, police are appealing to the public to help them in their search for Hannah Graham. K-9 units from across Virginia are searching an orchard at Carter Mountain. The trained volunteers came at the request of the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, which is coordinating the search and rescue effort. Yesterday, the Charlottesville police chief said investigators have, quote, no idea whatsoever where she is. A man charged with her abduction was arrested Wednesday in Galveston, Texas. Jesse Matthew is now being moved back to Virginia after waiving extradition yesterday.
The tragic story of a central Iowa family is going to be featured tonight on Dateline NBC. Seth Teckel is accused of shooting his pregnant wife and killing their unborn baby. His first 2 trials ended in hung juries. The third was in Davenport, and it was followed every day by Quad City Times reporter Linda Cook.
Here are 2 families. One who's lost a daughter and a grandchild, and another family whose son has been on trial twice now. They're sitting across from each other in this relatively small courtroom in Scott County, and it was heartbreaking to watch both families go through this. 1 hung jury is very rare. 2 hung juries is incredible. So this was the 3rd time Seth Teckel had been on trial. You could feel the weariness when you walked into that courtroom. The family of Lisa Caldwell Teckel, one by one, took the stand and sobbed. You took my grandchild from me. You took my daughter, my sister. And there wasn't a dry eye there. It was, and I admit, I shed tears. How can you be human and not feel compassion for both of these families? I haven't seen drama play out in a script like it did in this real life courtroom setting.
2-hour Dateline called Before Dawn airs tonight at 8 o'clock right here on KWQC.
More changes are coming to downtown Davenport. Work is expected to start in just a couple of months on the City Square project. That's the renovation of the Parker Putnam buildings, and the historic high-rises are being turned into offices, hotel suites, luxury apartments, retail, even a rooftop bar. Yesterday, some community members got a closer look at the final plans and a timeline on the project. In about 8 weeks, the developer hopes to close on construction financing. Then work will begin on the Parker building on the east end of the block, with tenants moving in next August. Work on the Putnam building will begin after that.
The building itself is like a work of art. And you don't take a work of art and paint over it, you restore it.
The whole $60 million project is expected to be finished by late spring of 2016. It'll join more than 15 projects already underway in the downtown area.
The Quad Cities Balloon Festival starts today in East Moline. KWQC's Danielle McCarthy is live at the Rock Island County Fairgrounds with a preview. Now, Danielle, this is actually a new location for the festival.
It is, David. Yeah, they had to move it here actually because the crowds have just gotten so big since the festival started 7 years ago. Now I'm here right now with one of the hot air balloon pilots at this year's festival, Brian Becker rather. Brian Decker is our director back at the studio, so it's a little confusing. Now explain to us what we're seeing back here. You know, it seems like there's a lot going on.
Right now they are cold inflating the balloons, which we have a fan behind the van here. It's blowing cold air into the balloons. And once those get about 80–90% full of cold air, that's when they turn the burner on and put heat to it. Heat obviously rises, so it makes it stand up. And then once we get hot enough, it'll actually lift us off the ground and we go into flight.
What does it take to become a hot air balloon pilot?
You gotta pass a written test, and you gotta pass a check ride test with another commercial pilot. But before that, with another commercial pilot, you have to get about 10 or 12 flights, and I can't remember what it is. It's been too long.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate it. Now, you're looking at some video of last year's event. Obviously, that'll be similar to what it looks like this year. 17 balloons are going to launch. If the weather is right, should be happening at about 5 o'clock today, and there will also be 3 more launches over the weekend. You can also have a tethered balloon ride as well. Proceeds from that will go to the Riverbend Food Bank. Now you can start showing up here around 3:30 this afternoon. Vendors will be opening up at 4 o'clock. And again, that launch today is supposed to be at 5 o'clock. Reporting live in East Moline, Danielle McCarthy, KWQC TV6 News.
Danielle, you think you'll be able to go up today?
Yeah, I think we are going to be able to go up. They say the weather is right now. The wind is perfect. So around 7 o'clock, right when our next live hit is, right about then, we should be ready to go up, actually.
All right, it's your first time, right?
Yep, first time, so a little nervous. I am afraid of heights, so we'll see how that plays out, but I'm excited.
All right, that's going to be good stuff.
That's going to be awesome.
Me too. All right, thanks, Danielle. We'll see her again, of course. The festival is free, but again, organizers are asking for donations for the Riverbend Food Bank.
David, you handled that well. My follow-up question would have been directly, how nervous are you, scale of 1 to 10? You went the roundabout route asking.
I don't want to psych her out.
The way you did. No, that's good. That's a good thing. Temperature, I'm a little more of the hammer. You're kind of the scalpel here. But we're in the mid-50s right now. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast coming up after the break.
That's a great analogy. All right, we want to remind everybody that our highlight zone is happening tonight. This is going to be the Zone Coming episode, which is going to be pretty awesome because a couple of our high schools in the area are actually having their homecoming games this weekend. And a reminder, you can share all of your photos on social media with us just by looking at how to do that on our screen.
And like clockwork, by the way, you may not have to stick around for the 7-day forecast. Anytime Cal's in, you know it's going to be nice during the weekend, but he is asleep right now, so apparently not doing weather duties.
His eyes are open.
Are they?
He's just staring
They
at you.
are.
He's resting up for a strong finish.
All right. We'll have your forecast coming up after the break.
You're watching David Nelson and Morgan Otier. This is KWQC TV6 Quad Cities Today. And now, the Quad Cities' most reliable forecast with meteorologist Greg Dutra.
Temperatures fairly warm across the nation, near 60 degrees in Tulsa this morning. We're in the mid-50s. We're warmer than our normal low temperature, and the only folks really at or below their normal lows, they're off in the northeast and through northern portions of Michigan, too, with a temperature of 42 in coastal Maine this morning out in Bangor. That's just a little bit cooler than their normal low temperature, but on the whole, we're all pretty warm this morning. Look at the Dakotas, even sitting in the 60s. They are definitely benefiting from a southerly wind, although there's a bit of moisture out there through North Dakota and South Dakota too. We're on the drier side of things, though, as dry air encompasses a solid chunk of the U.S., except for the usual suspects, coastal Florida and also the Gulf Coast too. They're always humid all year round. For us, though, looking great. 55 degrees, our dew point temperature again well below that noticeable 60-degree mark, and our wind is from a dry direction, east. It's 6 miles per hour. You factor in also the barometer too this morning. You may be saying, barometer, he never mentions that. Well, it's fairly remarkable this morning. It's pretty high, about 13 inches of mercury and staying steady. And that usually means that there's high pressure somewhere in the neighborhood, and it's pretty close. And it's a large high pressure system too, controlling the Great Lakes region and providing even us with some sunshine and very dry air. And that southeasterly wind too, you can actually see the wind flow around this. I have those handy dandy arrows for that, and you extend it out to us, and you get a nice easterly to southeasterly wind. So sunny and dry today, and it's going to stay that way as that high pressure system pretty much stays stays locked over the Great Lakes for at least the next 3 or 4 days. So it's another morning where we start off with a pretty nice looking sunrise. We finish out with clear skies too, and high temperatures that will be well warmer than normal. Normally upper 60s, lower to mid 70s for our high temperatures around this time of year. We are going to hit the upper 70s and lower 80s just like yesterday afternoon, and then only dip down into about the upper 60s for the start of football games, mid to lower 60s by the time they wrap themselves up. And low temperatures tonight don't fall much further, only about the mid 50s, which is remarkable considering the fact that we have clear skies. You would think we'd get a little cooler, but it's that wind out of the southeast keeping us on the warm side not only today, but also through tonight and through the next few days. High of 81 on Saturday. We do it again on Sunday. Great weekend for us. And high temperatures will start to slack a little bit by the end of next week. It looks like next Saturday and Sunday, not this one, is when we get a nice surge of cooler fall-like air.
Oh, perfect.
But the rain should be out, Morgan.
That's good. That's all I really care about.
We might have clouds, but I think the rain's going to be out.
Hey, that's fine with me. Thanks, Greg. All right, let's take a live look out at traffic this morning. This is I-74, the last Iowa exit. Traffic definitely picked up this morning, but still moving along just fine at 6:47.
Happening today, Black Hawk College will host a summit on the effects of drinking while pregnant. Experts will be speaking from 8:30 this morning until noon. There'll be a parent panel at 1, and then at 2 o'clock, a man diagnosed with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder will speak. FASD can cause a wide range of health problems and is estimated to occur in as many as 1 in 100 births.
The Salvation Army will be holding its first annual Shred event today. Cintas will be at the Salvation Army Family Service Center that's in downtown Davenport. They're going to securely shred your documents. All papers can be shredded for a $10 donation to the Salvation Army. That's happening from 11 this morning until 2 this afternoon on West 6th Street.
Today, people in need can get free dental services at Waterford Family Dentistry. That's from 8 until 2 today. People can get a free cleaning, filling, or extraction. Patients will be accepted on a first-come, first-served basis.
Tomorrow, multiple sites in our area will be taking old prescriptions back for free. It's part of Prescription Drug Take Back Day. The event is a way to safely dispose of unused medications, no questions asked. In our area, there will be a drop-off site at local police departments like in Milan, Silvis, Muscatine, and Kewanee. Local counties also have drop-offs, including Rock Island, Knox, Jackson, Cedar, and Henry. We will have a link on our website to find a location near you.
Good morning. Coming up on a Friday here on Today, a terror warning leads to added security in cities all across the country, even as officials try to downplay the threat. We're going to have the latest on that and some new airstrikes in Syria overnight. Also ahead, country superstar Carrie Underwood. She'll join us for her first interview since she revealed she's pregnant. We'll talk about that, the big concert she's taking part in, and much more. Plus, bargain lovers are going to love the biggest steals and deals ever. That's coming up in our 8 o'clock half hour.
Hey, we also have Rock and Roll Hall of Famer John Mellencamp. He's going to stop by. He'll perform an old classic and something new when we see you right here on Today. Hey.
Go to KWQC.com/rewards and enter the Quad Cities Today word of the day to win 2,500 KWQC rewards points.
School bus forecast for us right now. I apparently can't use my words. I actually didn't drink coffee this morning. That's why I feel a little bit off. I know it's strange. But mid-60s, though, around pickup time. We'll be in the upper 70s at drop-off. Expect that high temperature to hit the lower 80s at around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. It's happening a little bit later than it normally does. And your football forecast for tonight, of course, be sure to tune into The Zone. Those temperatures will still be sitting in the 70s and barely into the 60s by the time the final whistle goes. It is looking just fantastic, especially after weeks 1 through 3, where everybody had to bring rain gear and hoodies and umbrellas and everything. Not the case here for tonight.
It's good ballooning weather.
It is. I'm told that.
All right, well, the reason why we mention it is because more than a dozen hot air balloons will fill the East Moline sky over the next few days. That's for this year's Quad Cities Balloon Festival. KWQC's Danielle McCarthy is live at the Rock Island County Fairgrounds. Danielle, the event doesn't start until later today, but one of the balloons is actually ready for an early launch this morning. It looks like you're in it.
Yeah, we're inside the iconic Remax balloon, Morgan. We're about to go up about 1,000 feet in the air here. I'm with hot air balloon pilot Bill Baker right here. He's getting ready for us to take off right now. Now, Bill, the last time we checked in with them, this balloon was lying sideways on the ground. What's it going to take for it to get, 1,000 feet up in the air?
Just a little bit more heat. That's it. We're good to go.
Yeah. Can we test out those burners again and show them what
you do it.
All right, this one right here?
Yep.
All right.
Right there.
Watch this, guys. You hear how loud that is? That's not even the loudest one. There's one that's even louder than that. So that's what's going into this right now. Now, once we're up there, Bill, explain to our viewers what it's going to be like. You're one of the most experienced pilots in the business.
Well, it's going to be very calm because you won't feel a little breeze right now. You won't feel that because you're going with the wind, okay? And it's very, very smooth. Most people envision a roller coaster affair when they're in a balloon. Goggles, so scarf, put your hands up. It's not like that at all. The only time a balloon will wiggle or lean or anything is when you're sitting on the ground, the beginning and at the end, the takeoff and the landing. And this morning it's just perfect. There's not much wind at all. We can sit here and talk leisurely. It's a great time, but the flight itself will be fantastic. You'll enjoy it.
Great. Well, we're going to take some video from that and bring that to you guys as soon as possible. It should be pretty cool. Now, anyone can come to the Quad Cities Hot Air Balloon Festival. Around 3:30 this afternoon is when it starts. There'll be about 4 balloon launches, including today and over the weekend as well. Today should happen at 5 o'clock. 17 balloons going up in the air. Reporting live in East Moline, Danielle McCarthy, KWQC TV6 News.
That is awesome, Danielle. I'm super jealous. Again, balloon launches are at 5 today. Also tomorrow morning at 7, 5 tomorrow afternoon. The last one is happening on Sunday morning at 7, and admission is free.
The maker of Iowa's Templeton Rye whiskey is facing a class action lawsuit for alleged consumer fraud. A Chicago law firm is filing suit on behalf of anybody who's ever bought a bottle of Templeton Rye. Attorneys claim people who bought the whiskey paid a premium price thinking it was made in Iowa. It's really distilled and aged in a factory in Indiana before being bottled in Templeton. Templeton Rye's defense team has already pointed to a 4-year-old YouTube video featured on its website that shows the production process.
One of the distillers out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, was originally from Breda, Iowa, and knew all about Templeton Rye. Dad and I worked with them on our recipe and got comfortable that they could consistently produce a product worthy of being called the good stuff.
So now the company hopes to begin building a distillery in Templeton next year.
And we want to remind everybody we're going to have all the big high school matchups in our area tonight on the Highlight Zone. Tonight will be our special Zone Coming show, which is appropriate because multiple schools, including Bettendorf and North Scott, are celebrating homecoming games tonight. You can catch all the highlights tonight at 10.
And right now we've had a live look at Cal Camp.
Oh, good boy.
Greg's dog, Cal, is here with us this morning, and he is, as always, being so well behaved.
Hey, buddy. That's Auntie Mo.
We'll be right back.
Well, definitely not fall-like, but I have no reservations about this forecast here, sitting at 81 degrees for today. It definitely feels good. By the way, I just realized I had the Cal's ball in my hand still from the commercial break. Anyway, high temp. That was cool. We didn't plan that, I swear. High temperature today, 81, 56 as our nighttime low. Still warmer than normal, and we continue to stay warmer than normal through the extended outlook. 81 will be our high temperature on Saturday, up to the 80s again on Sunday, and we keep clear skies in the forecast until at least Tuesday of next week before we get another chance of rain here on Wednesday.
All right, let's take a live look out at where Danielle's at, which is the Rock Island County Fairgrounds this morning. I'm so jealous, David, she gets to go up in one of these bad boys.
That's going to be so much fun. Quad Cities Balloon Festival starting today there in East Moline. This is going to be Danielle's first experience going up in a balloon. She's going to tell us all about it. We're going to have video, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, well, really, when you think about it, you say first experience. How many people have more than one unless they're really involved in, ballooning? I don't even. So, I just think this is so awesome. And that's her right there in the tan-colored coat, ready to go up.
So we'll keep you updated on that. And it's going to be great weather for it, as we've been talking about all morning long. Today's show starts now.